record from my side and let me share the screen. Okay, so Sunil, okay, just go through the recordings again. There you can see in the beginning itself, I told you in case if you want to install extra features after installation, what we have to do, which option you have to select. Okay, just go for it. Go and check it. Okay, right. So you can see here clearly instance name MS SQL Server is already in use and you cannot continue with the same name. So this is the error, but you cannot change the default instance name, right? Right? It is not in our control. So there is no way you can install only one default instance per machine. Other instances, if you want to install one more copy of the SQL Server, you have to go for named instance. Is it mandatory that first time I have to install default instance?
No need, sir.
No need. Okay, if you want to install named instance for the first time also, you can choose named instance. It's not mandatory that I have to install default instance. Only default instance will help you to connect to the server with computer name. That's it. There is no other meaning for default instance. There is no other functionality for default instance. It won't allow us to give the name. You have to use computer name only. That is the only advantage with the default instance. Remaining everything is same. Okay, so let me go with the batch 40. I'll install batch 40 instance. Okay, so I just selected this one, type this name. Okay, and select this one once, instance ID. Automatically the name will be changed. Okay, if you see here SQL Server directory, see here C program files Microsoft SQL Server. This folder will be created MS SQL 14.batch40. This folder will be created in this location. Okay, so this is how you can see. And let me go to next.
Sir, one doubt, sir. On the same machine, can we install two different operating systems?
We can. Two different operating systems. If you don't want that machine, you can install.
Okay.
Okay, usually if you install two operating systems, you can install it. No one will stop you. But in the organization, forget about the organization. The organization, no one will practice that one. Okay, it's not a good practice. But in the laptop, in your laptop, you can install two operating systems. But the problem is it will corrupt. Okay, your hard disk, especially your hard disk, will be corrupted. Okay, so usually we don't prefer installing. In case if you need a two operating system, do one thing: create a virtual machine. Install one Windows.
ఇప్పుడు మనం చేసిన ఈ మెషిన్ మీదనే 2019 మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు డిఫాల్ట్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ తీసుకోదు.
One question to you. You're asking about two different versions of operating systems or two different versions of SQL Server.
Two different versions of operating systems are over, sir. You explained that.
Okay, that is okay, right? That clarity I need. Okay.
Second question.
Why? Because I don't know whether you are like you don't know the difference between operating system and application. I don't know, right? So that is clear. Just tell me clear. Then you can ask the second question. Yeah, tell me.
Second question is, ఇప్పుడు మనం 2017 చేసేసాము, సెకండ్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ చేస్తున్నాం సార్. 2019 కనుక 2019 ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తుంటే దానికి డిఫాల్ట్ తీసుకోరు.
Yes, only one default instance for the whole Windows machine. Forget about version.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so it's not depends on your version. Okay, 2017 one default instance, 2019 one default instance, nothing like that. For the whole Windows server, only one default instance. Okay, even though if you install 2019 now, you cannot install. Why? Because same name conflict.
Okay.
Okay, if you computer name 2017 will connect or 2019 will connect. It's difficult, right? So it won't allow us again. It won't, even though you change the version, it won't allow us to install one more default instance. Right. So service account, guys, very important. Let me explain again. Clearly, I'll explain, nothing to worry. Service account, the definition is service account is an account which will help you to run the services. Guys, whenever you install anything, any software, okay, in the Windows machine, it will create service for that software. Okay, let me open my local services, services.msc. Whenever you install any service, any software, the software will run as a service in your particular Windows server or your laptop in your operating system. So for example, see here, Avasta antivirus is there. Okay, when you install Avasta antivirus software, automatically it will install this service, Avasta antivirus service. Okay, right? So your software will run as a service in your operating system. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right, fine. So what this software will do, normally what antivirus software will do?
It scans our system and
Very good.
it found any threats, it is going to be removed.
Delete.
Identify junk files.
Yes, very good. Okay, so what this Avasta antivirus will do? It is going to scan the whole system. Whole system means all the drives. All the drives means all the folders. Right? So who is going to scan on behalf of this antivirus?
Service account.
Your service account, scan means what? Read. Your service account will read each and every file, each and every folder, each and every drive. Clear? This point is clear or not? Even though
Yes.
that software will run as a service, that service won't scan. On behalf of that service, the service account will scan these things. Scan means what? Reading. So here, can you identify which is the service account? Can anyone identify?
Local system.
Local system. Very good. Okay, the logon as tab is there, right? There you can see these are all your service accounts, guys. These are all your service account. You can see 3 different service accounts: local system, local service. You can see this is your local service and
Network
network
service.
service. These are the 3 by default service accounts. Means for this Windows machine, 3 maids are there. What are those 3 maids? One maid is local system, second maid is local service, third maid is network service. In these 3 maids, again, principal maid will be there, right? If you go to VIP houses and all, 10 or 20 people will be there, workers will be there. For 10, 20 people, again, one leader will be there, right? So these 3 service accounts again have priority. In these 3 service accounts, local system is the highest priority, means it's a kind of leader for all the workers. Okay, so for important softwares and all will run on local system, antivirus software, SQL Server softwares. Okay, if you don't see while installing, it won't ask you which service account you need. While installing any software, it won't ask you which service account you need. Why? Because you don't know what is service account and all. Simply it will install. But which service account it will take during the installation depends upon the software priority. If the software is high priority software, it will choose local system as a service account. If it is normal priority, it will choose local service as a service account. If it is low priority, it will choose network service as a service account. Is this point clear or not till now?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Right? So service accounts are kind of workers. Okay, it's a kind of a maids for us. Right. Fine. So your antivirus, on behalf of this antivirus service, local system will read all the data, all the files, okay, all the folders, all the drives. If I want to read any file, what I have to do, guys? For example, I want to read one file in the D drive SQL Server data folder. There is one file in the D drive SQL Server data folder. One file is there. I want to read that file. In which circumstances I can read that file? I means on behalf of you, someone will read it, right? Right. On which circumstances you can read that file or you can access that file?
Authentication. You should have authentication.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. See, you should have permissions to enter into the drive, right? You should have permissions to access the drive. Without having access to the drive, how can you open the drive? How can you open the folder? How can you open that file? You cannot do it, right? By default, we don't observe these things, but when you install, automatically you will get administrator privileges, so you can access everything in the drives, every drive, every files in the drives and all you can access. Why? Because by default, you are an administrator. Administrator will get the whole access on the system, so you don't observe this thing. But whenever you are entering into the folder or drive, it will check whether you are valid person or not to access this folder or drive. Okay, so on behalf of this antivirus software, where is that Avesta antivirus? Yeah, on behalf of this antivirus software, who is going to enter into the folders and who is going to read the data, write the data?
Local system.
Local system is the worker which will have access to all the drives, all the folders. By default, local system will get access on all the drives and folders. So that's why it can easily enter into the drives. It can read the data, write the data. Writing means deleting and all. In case if it found any infected files, it is going to delete after our approvals. Right? In the same way, same concept you have to apply on the SQL Server. On behalf of SQL Server, SQL services will be there. You can see here, SQL service, this is. Okay, 6 services will be created when you install one instance of the SQL Server. I'll explain what are those services, nothing to worry. Okay, if you see here, you can see here, NT service MS SQL Server. Okay, so these are virtual service accounts. These are virtual services. We have 3 types of service accounts. One is default service account. Second one is virtual service accounts. Third one is your customized service accounts. Okay. So default, sometimes it will install with the default. Sometimes it will install by default. It will install with your virtual service accounts. Okay. Virtual means it will create one more account on the fly during the installation with instance name. Okay, with instance name it will create one more. The instance name for default instance is MS SQL Server, right? So it created one more account. Simply this account, what is your SQL Server? It's a database software which will help you to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data, right? So who is going to storing means what? When you can store the data, if you write the data permanently to the disk, that is meant storing, right? So who is going to store the data? Who is going to write the data to the disk? Who is going to read the data from the disk on behalf of SQL Server? Sorry? Who is going to read and write the data from the disk to the disk, guys?
NT service MS SQL Server, sir.
Yes, your service account will read and write the data to the disk from the disk. Is this point clear, guys? Any doubts, let me know.
Yes.
Okay, so if it wants to write the data to the D drive or E drive or F drive or X drive, it should have permissions on those drives, right? Then only it can access those drives and all. So this service account, please mute it. This service account will have admin rights. By default, this service account should have admin rights. Why? Because again and again you cannot specify, okay, every time you cannot give permissions to access each folder, right? So once you are added this service account, or once you made this service account as an administrator, automatically this service account can access all the drives, all the folders. It can read the data, write the data to the drives and files. This is the importance of the service account. Sir, why we have to go for customized service account? Why not we depends on your default service account? Tell me, guys, what is the problem if we go with the default service account? What is the problem if we go with the default? Yeah.
Priority issue.
So the problem is,
Time complexity.
yes, the problem is, again, yesterday we discussed, right, one example. If you are staying in a room, one maid is coming to work you to help you. She will complete the work in 30 minutes. Okay, one more person is added. She will complete in 45 minutes. One more person is added, she will complete in 1 hour. If persons are adding, work also will be increased, right? So the time consuming, the time to complete the work also will be increased, right? So if you depends on only one worker, it will take 1 hour to complete all your works. If you have 3, imagine how many members are there in this room. See how many members are there in this room. For all these members, you are giving only 3 workers, right? Obviously you have to wait for your work, right? For these many members, see, imagine this server is a hostel, PG. In this hostel, these many, each person, okay, each service is one person. Imagine each service is one person. Imagine in this PG, how many people are staying, right? So for all these 3 people, for all these people, only three workers are there, 3 maids are there. So it is very difficult, right, to complete your work immediately, right? You have to wait for others to complete their work, then only, okay, you can complete, your mates can complete your work and all. Okay, so that is the difficulty. So people are more, but workers are very less, mates are very less. So that's why we usually, okay, don't prefer using these default service accounts and all. We'll create a separate service account, means I will keep my own maid to myself. She will only help for me only, she won't touch others work, she is dedicated to me. Whatever work is there, she is going to complete on behalf of me. Dedicated. Why? Because as for SQL Server, I am installing Windows Server, guys. For Windows Server, I am not installing SQL Server. My priority is SQL Server. My priority is storing the data. My priority is retrieving the data. My priority is accessing the data. So the priority here is SQL Server and the priority here is data access. So that's why I used to use one dedicated service account to myself, so that it will help only for my service, my SQL Server service. That is called a dedicated service account. Is it clear, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir. చాలా బాగా చెప్పేశారు.
Okay. So, right. So while installing, you can install with any service account. Okay. That's not a big deal. But after installation, as a DBA, we have to change the service account to our own service account. For that, what I'll do, if I want to, okay, maintain a separate maid, first of all, I have to recruit that maid, right? I have to recruit that maid, right? So what I have to do, I have to create a user. Service account is nothing but simply a user, guys. Okay, a user will give access to all the folders. That's it. So simply we'll create one user. Okay, then we'll recruit her as a service account. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go to this window. Right. Okay, see here, if you don't create, usually it will also create one virtual service account with the help of instance name. You can see here, service instance name, service instance name. With the help of instance name, it will also create one service account, but it's not good. So we'll create one more service account. So I'll show you creating a user and making that user as a service account. How to do that, I'm going to show you. Okay, so nothing to worry. So as of now, I'm installing with the default accounts. So if you are installing with the default accounts, it won't ask password. If you create your own service account, it will ask password. Okay, so that's why these fields password sections are grayed out. You cannot select this password section. And startup mode, guys, yesterday we discussed it, right? It should be automatic. What is the problem if it is manual?
Every time we have
To restart the
to
SQL Server.
Yeah, whenever you restart Windows Server, whenever you restart the SQL Server, okay, sorry, Windows Server, whenever you restart Windows Server due to some Windows maintenance activities and all, if you restart Windows Server, these services will be down. Manual means again you have to go to see here. If you see here services, okay, automatic. Okay, if you see here startup type, under startup type column, you can see automatic. Okay, so what is the advantage if these service accounts services are automatic? Whenever you restart the Windows Server, automatically these services will be up and running. If it is manual, again, once the server is restarted, again you have to go to this service. You have to open services.msc. You have to go to this service and right click. You have to start it again, which is not good option. Okay, so that's why we'll simply keep this startup type as automatic, so that at any time if your Windows server is rebooted, automatically SQL servers will be up and running. Okay, no need to take care of it. Collation settings, as discussed, language settings. Okay, collation settings are language settings. By default, collation settings are SQL, Latin 1, General, CP1, CIAS. CP1 means code base 1, CI means case insensitive, means in any case you can insert the data in the SQL server. AS means action sensitive. You can select this case insensitive as a case sensitive, but the problem is you have to insert either lowercase data or uppercase data. Okay, if you select CI, you can insert any type of data, lowercase or uppercase, you can insert any case data. Okay, in the SQL server. This is by default collation settings. 95% of SQL server will configure with default collation settings only. Might be 5% depends upon the project, specific collation settings will be there. If you want to choose different collation settings, in the build sheet they are going to maintain what collation settings they need. As per the build sheet, you can change the collation settings. Okay, you can change it from this customize button. I'm not changing that one. Okay, next. Right, this is very important screen, guys. 1 minute, guys, I got one courier, just a minute, I'll be back. Okay, fine. Right, this is also very important screen, guys. So here, if you see here, authentication. Okay, authentication mode, two types of authentications are there. One is Windows authentication mode, second one is mixed mode authentication. I'll explain about this authentication mode in the security concept. We have a security concept. What is authentication? What is authorization? How to log into SQL Server? How login will work? Okay, everything I'll explain about this authentication. Authentication means simply how you are going to log into the SQL Server, guys. How you are going to log in, using Windows or using mixed mode. If you use Windows authentication, okay, so here I'll just explain basic. Okay, but nothing to worry. In case if you don't understand, no need to worry. In the security, again, I'll explain this. I'll explain with the diagrams. If you choose Windows authentication, it will use Windows username and password to connect to the SQL server. Okay, so guys, when you can access any Windows machine, either your laptop or Windows server, in which circumstances you can access that machine? Say, for example, now you are using laptop, right? Who can log into that laptop?
Authorized.
Sir.
Yes.
If I know password or PIN,
Hmm.
if I enter, then I can access
Very
my
good.
laptop.
Okay, that means one account is already there on behalf of your name. you should enter your name and password. Usually, if you are using same name, it won't ask your name next time. You will simply enter the password. Then what it will do, it will verify whether you are accessing or other person is accessing by with the help of your password. Say for example, Sunil is there. Sunil user is there. Sunil gave set one password, Sunil at the rate 123. Okay, Sunil at the rate 123 is the password for his laptop. Okay, so if you just enter Sunil at 123, then it will check, okay, Sunil gave correct password or not. Okay, Sunil at the rate 123, Sunil at the rate 1. It will match with the existing passwords. If Sunil gave the same password, it will allow you to access his laptop. It will allow Sunil to access his laptop. On behalf of Sunil, Sunil said, okay, you can access my laptop. This is the password, Sunil at the rate 123. But Sunil did not mention Sunil is a capital Sunil or small Sunil. Might be it is a capital Sunil. I am entering small Sunil. Okay, small case, lowercase Sunil I am entering. Right? It will immediately throw the error. It won't allow us. Why? Because the password is not matched here. So the thing is, if the user is already created, then only the user can log into the machine. Agree or not? Agree,
Yes,
right?
sir.
After
అంటే మా
installation, yeah, I'll tell
ఆ
you.
పాస్వర్డ్ మా వైఫ్ కి తెలిసినా కానీ మా వైఫ్ కూడా ఆ పాస్వర్డ్ తో లాగిన్
Anyone,
అవ్వచ్చు.
your laptop don't know that your wife is accessing your laptop or your son is accessing your laptop or your father is accessing the laptop. It will only wait for the correct password.
ఓకే సార్.
It's not so much intelligent, okay, by just recognizing who is typing the password. It's not like that. Simply say, for example, if you give me your Gmail credentials, I can log in, right? The thing is, it will just verify you are giving correct username and password or not. It won't verify correct person is accessing or not, correct username and password or not. It will just verify, right? It will work like that, right? That means if anyone wants to access your laptop, either you or some user should be created in the laptop to access that laptop. Once he gave his username and password, then only it will allow us. Simple example is after installation of Windows Server, I gave password for administrator account. For local, for this one desktop operating systems, administrator is not mandatory, but for server operating systems, administrator account is mandatory. That's why it asked to give password for administrator account. So what I did, I gave password for administrator account after installation. Next time when I'm logging in, I'm giving one password. Which password that is?
The password which you give in the
Every
installation.
time while logging into the remote desktop, I am giving one password. What is that password? Which password it is?
లాగిన్
It
పాస్వర్డ్
is
అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్.
Windows authentication password, sir.
Administrator
operating
password. Administrator password.
And
Okay. I am giving administrator password only for the first time. If you remember it or not, for the first time I typed the username and password, administrator password. Next time and all, no need to type administrator. Simply I'm giving the password. Okay, so means entering into the Windows machine, entering into the Windows operating system is your Windows authentication. Clear? If you logging into the Windows server, that is your Windows authentication. Okay, clear guys, everyone? Here, say for example, Sunil can log into his laptop. Sunil already installed one SQL server in his laptop. Okay, Sunil is able to log into his laptop. Guys, tell me one question. Okay, Sunil installed SQL server in his laptop. Sunil can access that laptop. That means Sunil can access SQL server also.
ఎస్ సార్.
Those who are having access to the laptop can connect to the SQL server by default.
No, no.
ఎస్ సార్.
yes, sir, by default he can access. But if there is a authentication, then he cannot access from his
Yes.
laptop, sir.
Yes. Okay. So the point here is, if you have access to the Windows machine, that doesn't mean you have access to the SQL server. Explicitly, again, I have to create one account for you in the SQL server then only you can access. See guys, everyone can access Gmail, www.gmail.com. If you open Gmail account, is it like is it you are going to connect to the Gmail? No, right?
No, sir.
If you have Gmail account, username and password, then only you can connect to Gmail. You can access Gmail, but you cannot log into Gmail. If you want to log into Gmail, you should have username and password. Simply opening gmail.com doesn't mean you can connect to Gmail or you can access Gmail, right? If you want to log into Gmail, again, one more username and password should be created in the Gmail, then only you can log into Gmail. In the same way, simply entering into the Windows machine doesn't allow you to connect to the SQL server. You should be created as a login in the SQL server. Then only you can connect to the SQL server. If everyone who can access Windows server can connect to SQL server, where is the security? Everyone can see the data, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how the security will work. Everyone can't access. By default, you might be administrator in the Windows level. You are administrator in the Windows level, but that doesn't mean you can access or you can connect to SQL server. By default, you cannot connect. If you want to connect to SQL server, again, I have to create a separate entry for you. Okay. So that entry you have to mention here. Who can connect to my SQL server? If I don't mention anything, if I go to next, SQL server will be installed successfully, but no one is able to connect to your SQL server. Clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So
Good, sir.
to whom we are going to give access here in the screen? Will usually
Add current user.
add current user will do one thing. Next thing, in the organization, to whom will give access? For example, you just simply selected current user, guys. What it means, can anyone tell me?
Sir, it
Administrator
means
ఉంటారు.
Windows authentication user, the who login in Windows server, sir. The user, the administrator can access the SQL server, sir.
Yes, that means simply who is there in this list, he only can connect. Other DBS can't connect. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Agree, right? So what I have to do, if other DBS has to connect, okay, I have to click on this add button. There will be teams in the organization. DBA team will be there. SQL DBA team will be there. Okay, team DL distribution list will be there. Okay, SQL DBS @accenture.com, SQL _DBS @tcs.com. Like that, one group is already created for your team. Simply you have to add your group here, SQL _DBS @accenture.com. As of now, I won't get, okay, why? Because there is no Accenture domain and all. Simply I'm giving example. Okay, so during installation, you have to add your team also in the organization. Now you can simply add just current user. No team is there, right? Later I'll show you how to create a team ID and all. Group like individual login, group login, how to create, I'll show you later. This is how we'll do it. Okay, so you have to add yourself, or else simply you can add direct the whole team. As you are a member of that particular team, you can also access the SQL server. Got it, guys? So here, apart from current user, to whom we are going to give access? To the DBA team and to your service account also, guys. Your service account also, okay, we are going to give access. Why? Because your service account has to access your drives in the OS level. At the same time, it has to access your SQL server also. Who can access SQL server? If you add anyone in this list, they only can access SQL server, right? So guys, I have one question for all of you. And I just added only one account. Later, can I create accounts for other persons? Later, someone is asking, hey, I need permission on this server. Can you please create an
Yes.
account? Can we create it? Can we create login for them?
Yes.
Yes. At any time we want, we can create login for anyone, guys. At any time, see guys, even though companies, please mute it, someone like having disturbance from one side. Okay, right. So even though company see you, please mute it, guys. If you are asking any, who is that?
How may I add, sir? How we add user, sir?
I'll
New
tell you.
user.
I'll tell you. New user, how to create, how to add it. I'll tell you. After installation of SQL Server, will connect to SSMS, right? There I'll show you. Okay. Nothing to worry. In the security concept, I'll tell you how to create a login. If someone is asking login, hey, please give me access on this database. Okay, chalo, I'll give it. Okay, after approvals, I'll create one login for him. I'll give you access on the database. I'll show you how to do that. That is come under security. Okay, how to give permissions, how to create logins. I'll check. Okay, nothing to worry. So simply here, what it means is specify SQL Server administrator means to whom you want to give access, you have to mention here. Usually in the organization will mention whole DBA team and service account also here. Later also, if you missed someone here, later also we can create logins for them. We can give permissions also. This is clear, right, everyone?
Yes.
This window, please confirm this window is clear, right,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Data directories, you can see there is a separate tab, guys. If you install SQL Server, there are a lot of components will be installed: data drives, data files, log files, TempDB files, backup files, like this. Different components will be there. Okay, so you can store all the files in OneDrive. 1 minute, guys. Let me mute all of you. Right. If you have questions, unmute and ask me, and immediately mute yourself. Okay. So yes. So usually in the organization, we are going to maintain a lot of files, data files, log files, TempDB files, and your backup files and all. So it depends upon the organization strategy. Some companies will store all the files in a same drive, D drive, E drive, F drive. Some companies will store different drives. For data files, they will maintain separate drive. For log files, they will maintain separate drive. For TempDB files, they will maintain separate drive. For backup files, they will maintain separate drive. Okay. So in case if you want to store the data in different drives, simply you have to change the drive letter here. Say for example, I want to store data files in the E drive. Chalo, you can store it. I want to store log files in the L drive. Chalo, you can store it by editing like this. Backup drive, I will use X drive as my backup drive. If you have this many drives, you can store it. In this scenario, can I store like this?
No, sir.
No,
No,
you
sir.
have only
You have only one drive.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Let me reopen the meeting. The meeting is going to close now. Please join immediately with the same link.